Why is there such an echo?
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Do I have an echo or anything?
No. Something saying low battery.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, just ignore the shaking. Son of a bitch. The dude is literally above me. Like the farmer and the fox and chicken.
What'd you say about a fox and a chicken?
Like the farmer, fox, chicken, and green.
Oh, you should tell that.
Nobody will come up with the psychotic response I had, that's for sure, probably.
Give us a little background. Tell us about you.
My name is Angie Hatfield. My age is none of your business. I grew up in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. Some people have heard of that town during the the previous election. And I did ask my family if that was true, and they never saw anybody eating a cat or dog. Um, I moved to Florida in my 30s, and I'm a mom. And what else you want to know? I'm married
You
a
great.
lot. I've been married a lot.
So in your little bio that you gave, you call yourself a crazy chick.
Yes.
What's behind that?
I don't know. I think it's because I have very little filter and because I continually look outside of the box. I also constantly think I have boogies hanging. So that's another thing too. So I do this. Some people are like, does she snort coke? No, I don't. I always think I have a boogie hanging.
No, you don't have any boogie singing. You're all good on my end.
I view all people as pretty equal. I I'm not ever starstruck by anyone. I just think everybody's a person. I think that kind of helps me because when I speak with a senator or whoever, I just speak to them on a regular, everyday, one on one level. Very persistent person. And then also, I hear that I'm a very humble person. And it's not because I have self esteem issues, I'm just not very braggy.
Okay. So you also mentioned you described yourself as the body cam lady, grieving mom, founder. For those who don't know you yet, how do all of these fit together to create you?
So, my daughter, Brianna Michelle Overly, at the age of 19, um, was incarcerated here in the state of Florida. She got a 10-year sentence. Her sentence, she just kept getting in trouble. I'm not going to lie. She just continually got in trouble. And so they gave her 10 years. She ended up doing 9. About 6.5 years in, she was moved from down south to Lowell Correctional, which is in Ocala, Florida. This is also the largest women's prison in the United States of America. And shortly after she got there, there was an incident. Somebody put their hands on her that is paid by your tax dollars. And I actually didn't know anything about prison reform, criminal justice reform, anything like that. And she told me about this, and then it's a PREA, which is a Prison Rape Elimination Act. So as a PREA, you go PREA and you go PC, which is protective custody, yada yada yada. I started learning everything I could about this issue while she was in protective custody. They forced her out of it. Uh, I learned that I'm sorry, sometimes I forget words. The people that investigate the prison. All right, so the state department that investigates issues in the prison that might be of a legal nature, they also receive their funding from FDOC. So it seems odd to me that they would actually get the funding. I got an idea what those investigations look like. It looked like interviewing the wrong cellmate that wasn't even there at the time. But basically, what happened is the officer entered her cell, and there's no cameras inside the cells. Did he rape her? No, it didn't get that far. People assume that because I say it's of a sexual nature, but it didn't get as far as a rape. It was in the precursors of such. There's actually a international PREA organization that fights against exactly this issue. I never realized how rampant sexual abuse or assault in prison is, and it's you would always most of us think that this is like a inmate on inmate thing, but not necessarily, especially in women's prisons. So finally she called me when she got out of protective custody, and then she was telling me all this, giving me more details. And I says, well, because I remember saying, well, Brianna, shouldn't you be around other gals so that there are witnesses? And she said that it happens to a lot of the girls in there. There's even been girls that have gotten pregnant from this. And I said that, well, that's not okay. And I would like to do something about that. And her exact words were, go ahead and fight, Mom. I'm tough and I can take a beating. Exactly what she said. I didn't even know what that meant. What that meant was retaliation. Because sometimes when you go against the largest department in the state, that they can't do anything to me, but they can retaliate against my loved one inside. And actually, so I found a senator, then Senator Randolph Bracey, since he's no longer saying senator. I kept it quiet at that time, but I basically cornered him, and he became her protector. And he would contact the prison himself about her, to check on her, make sure she's okay. And so it kind of, how can we fix it? How can we repair this? What's going on? Looking into the investigation and how they investigate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's where we come up with body cameras. If you have a body camera, what it does is it stays on all the time, and it'll continually record, not audio, but video, but it'll be very grainy. And I actually put together an entire policies and procedures for the body cams, how to protect people's privacy, et cetera, et cetera. I got Facebook famous is what I call it. Because like my social media, I did know my social media kept growing. Because in this, I also kind of delved into other areas as well. And so I know a lot of people that have a lot to do with criminal justice reform. So I looked, like in the UK, they have body cameras in their prison. There was another country, I forget where that was also. There's a couple of prisons that's tried it out. So I put something together to ensure the privacy, because I knew what some of the arguments against are. So we did have a bill in the House and the Senate stateside for a body cam pilot program at Lowell Correctional, like a 3-year program. It's been filed twice, and it never went anywhere. We can never get it on a committee. And if I don't pursue it and I don't chase them out, hey, what's going on? We're going to do it this year. It usually doesn't get filed. That's my thing. That's my fight or whatever. But it's nobody else's priority per se. And I didn't even realize what I was doing. Like, I met all these legislators the first year, the second year. Luckily, also the DOJ around that time, right before COVID, came out with a report, because they had been investigating Lowell specifically for those issues, those sexual issues. And it was pretty scathing. So that kind of helped boost the bill up there, but we still never got the body cameras. I know last year, Representative Yvonne Henson, during her legislative minute where they interview him, she did bring up the body cam bill, and she said that continuing on, if it gets anywhere, she wants to name it after Brianna. She's not running for re-election, so am I going to continue to pursue that? I don't know. I'm so exhausted. I have so much on my plate. I wish, but it's like a constant battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I'm the prison body cam lady.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of leads into my next question. How does all of the work that you put into getting a bill up there, and just the work that you put into the prison and the body cams and stuff like that in general, how do you feel like that kind of shaped the way that you see justice and rehabilitation today in comparison to how you used to see it?
Well, I will tell you that I know a lot of folks, they'll go to meetings, like a multitude. I went one-on-one, meeting somebody in their office. Most of what I know about politics, I learned from our state level politicians. When you deal with somebody on a one-on-one basis, I think they're a little bit more open. It's a lot of work. I will tell you one thing. I did learn that you need a lobbyist. Lobbyists are controlling. It's ridiculous. Like, you can get stuff done without a lobbyist, but you're going to spend money. You're going to spend an immense amount of time and work, and you have to be a very you gotta have to be a salesperson and a closer. But lobbyists, it's all about the lobbies. I've learned so much about the prison system, and again, like I said, I see everybody as a person. It could be the governor, it could be somebody on the death row. I don't care. You're just a person to me. What I do know is people with substance use or substance abuse issues tend to have the lower sentences, shorter sentences. However, they have the highest recidivism rate, whereas somebody in prison for murder has the lowest recidivism rate, because it's typically a reactionary offense. It doesn't mean it's okay. When I got involved with criminal justice reform, all these different organizations and groups that are, you'll have 5 different groups or 5 different people working on the same issue, and they do not work together. They're
Yeah,
like competing with each other.
for
And
sure.
you will not get anywhere. When I first got involved, I have a good friend, Vicky Pearl, and I remember her saying that a lot of the people that are some of the lead or try to lead criminal justice reform movements are women, and women have a tendency to step back to men, or to, while we're independent or what have you, if we're going toe to toe with a man that's a strong male, and there's a lot of strong alpha males involved in legislation or or in the prison system, women have a tendency to stand back. One of the reasons that she has been like she's like my super fan. She does not play, is because she said that because I don't stand back, because I don't care. I'm like, duck around and find out.
Yeah,
I'm the duck around and find out generation.
exactly.